Hello and welcome back to another episode of Paint the Town Red and Yellow with me, Red and Yellow FM, and we are continuing our save with Partick Thistle here, and we are fourth in the Premiership, but we are probably the most inconsistent team in the league, I think. The only way we are consistent is in our inconsistency. So last time when we left off was the very drab 0-0 draw at Firhill. I then tried to change the tactics up, and we got a 1-1 draw with Kilmarnock, which was very frustrating. I can tell you, if you look at the stats there, 13 shots on target, 24 shots in general, and 52% of possession. We deserved it much more than they did, and I think it was a bit of a Scott Fox error that led to the goal as well by Christopher. Not Christopher. I've been watching Doctor Who quite a lot, that's why I thought Christopher Eccleston. It's by Nathan Eccleston, who played for Thistle as well earlier in the season, but moved in January to Kilmarnock in the January transfer window in real life. And I persevered with the tactic, and it didn't look like it was going to come off. Yet again, I think it was a last minute goal, and I think it was two errors by Scott Fox, really. One by Dan Seaborn, and Scott Fox just looked very sluggish moving around the box, and I kind of felt he was at fault. So that brought us to the Dundee United game, and we were brilliant, it has to be said. No Scott Fox in goals, Paul Gallagher, but there's a bit of news on him. And yeah, let's see the goal. Chris Doolan got a hat-trick, so with this I believe it's his first of the game. Gary Fraser and Bannigan back to Doolan, and it's a marvellous finish right across the goalkeeper and into the top corner. I'm really liking the false nine and the shadow striker. There's some really good 1-2 movements. Frederick Franz has been brilliant, but what a ball by Conrad Ballatoni, and the Dundee United goalkeeper kind of stranded out there in the middle of his box, and I don't know what he was thinking. And it's good to see that we pull away from the goal, from a corner here. And yet again, it's nice direct attacking football. We do keep hold of the ball quite well. And this is it here, boom, goal. And that is Chris Doolan's hat-trick. And the Stevie Lawless goal came third in goal of the month. It is pretty good. That's maybe not the goal I was looking for, thinking of actually. He scored a few, but one of them did come up for goal of the month. I don't think that was it though. And let's look at the next match, which was a very good match. And you can see Ryan Stevenson this time got the hat-trick, and we won a penalty. Yay! Finally it happened. We stopped giving them away and we got one. But let's see the goals. First goal in 5 minutes was an own goal. No, it wasn't. Yes, it was. I think it's a bit harsh. It does bounce off of Fraser Wright, but I think Stevenson would happily claim that as a fourth goal. And we gave away a penalty. Yep. There we are. But I'm quite liking Ryan Stevenson in the shadow striker role, with Chris Doolan acting as the false nine. I'm waiting for the goal though. I think this is the goal coming up, and we can see it's a 1-2 almost. The shadow striker combining really nicely with a false nine. I've always wanted to try and use that combination, and I think in Stevenson and Doolan it's working a treat. Some nice passing, moving the ball around, and yet again it's a 1-2, and it's a great goal. And here's Stevenson for the hat-trick from a penalty as well. And Chris Doolan getting in a great free kick there. And he's another one that's not got the greatest free kick taking as well, weirdly enough. So that brings us on to a 3-0 victory over Hamilton. And yet again, another own goal I think is a bit harsh. You might spot on the starting lineup there, Scott Basilai and Ben Richards Everton as well starting. So we have had quite a few unlucky injuries, really. So here we are, Chris Doolan, and it's another great free kick by him. What is his free kick rating actually? Free kick 10. He's only got a 10, and that's what he's doing. He's 2 out of 2. I mean, don't normally score that many free kicks, and yet 10. Mistake by the Hamilton defence, and Chris Doolan is able to hit the woodwork, but it comes off the goalkeeper and back in. I think it's always harsh when that's given as an own goal, and Ben Richards Everton there with a really good header. And that's all 3 goals, 2 set pieces more or less. Then we come to the St Mirren match. This is really where we're just so inconsistent at times. Scott Fox is back in, and he wouldn't have been my first choice. I'm not liking Scott Fox at the moment. I'm thinking he's just a little bit error prone, and just doesn't look good enough at times. So I'm thinking at the end of his contract that he can just leave, and maybe we can look for a better goalkeeper. And I mean, you can see we really didn't do brilliantly, but I think 2-0 flattered St Mirren slightly. But Chris Doolan there is second in the goal scoring charts on 8, second in the average rating. So is Frederick Franz. And it's nice to see we're up in 4th. You know, it was a bit rocky at first, you know, but 4th is pretty good. We've still got that nice cushion before we slip out of the top 6. And we're currently equal on points with St Mirren, who I think we've been better really than them, but we need to improve. Aberdeen were top before today. Obviously we have a game in hand, so they might go top of the table, but I seen this the other day. They beat Celtic 3-1, and Celtic putting out a bit of a weaker team. They might be playing in Europe, and guess what, who we got in the cup as well? Not Raith Rovers, I'm looking at Aberdeen. Guess who we got in the cup? We got Celtic. So instead of doing a double live com, which I suggested, I'm just going to leave it because I don't want to have another hammering at Parkhead. Instead, we might go for a hammering at Firhill instead, right? But today's LiveCom will be the Aberdeen match, and we also had a very quick friendly, Higginbottom and Doolan getting the goals. But the injuries are really bad. At one point, Scott Fox had food poisoning and couldn't play, and look at that. Paul Gallagher, age 35, has got knee tendinitis, 4 to 6 months. He's out for the rest of the season, and I was horrified when I got the little email saying he was considering retiring because of his injury. Callum Higginbottom likewise has got a torn calf muscle and is out for 4 to 5 months and won't be seeing him until, what, February? Other than that, I'm happy with how it's going. Tactics, very different, right? I got very annoyed eventually at how the central defensive partnership wasn't working. So I thought we'll take out the wing backs and we'll have 3 at the back. Because I was at a fan meeting with Alan Archibald at Firhill earlier, a few weeks ago actually, and he was sort of suggesting that tactically that he might pursue a 3-5-1 formation, or no, a 3-5-2 formation or a 3-5-1-1 formation. So I kind of wanted to try and play around with that idea as well. Obviously, Abdul Osman is back, so he can play in that defensive role, and also wanted the shadow striker style, which Ryan Stevenson is really doing well. And I'm loving the passing between Stevenson and Doolan, so it's going really well. And I think Stevie Lawless is doing pretty damn good as well. So yeah, so we're on counter flexible, and it's kind of similar without look for the overlap, and I've taken out push up higher and a few of those down there as well. I also wanted to have a look and share with you Thistle's latest signing in real life, and they signed Pogba. Sadly not Florentine or Paul, but it was Matthias Pogba, and I would take that considering for this season Thistle only have they only had one out and out striker, and that was Chris Doolan, and they signed Pogba, and he doesn't look the best in Football Manager. Quite nice physical attributes, good work rate, determination, but teamwork is also pretty damn good. So I think it's a good signing, and I have scouted him a little bit in this. Good for a championship team. But he wouldn't be interested in joining. I would maybe sign him if he became available, because obviously Lyle Taylor will leave at the end of the season, and we probably won't be able to get him back. I mean, he's worth 800,000 in this. We cannot afford that. Whoa, that is a big financial black hole. Right, but anyway, let's get back to the LiveCom, and like last time, I'm going to split this into two parts to help with the lagging. So I'll see you for part 2 against Aberdeen at Firhill. Welcome back to the match. We're at Firhill Stadium when we're taking on Aberdeen. The press favour Aberdeen as the much stronger side, and the absence of Callum Higginbottom is also going to hit as hard apparently, and the bookies also favour Aberdeen, so maybe we can cause an upset here. These are the starting lineups for today's match. In goals is Scott Fox. The back three is made up of Dan Seaborn, Frederick Franz, Conrad Ballatoni, Abdul Osman in that defensive midfield role. The four across the midfield are Stevie Lawless, Stuart Bannigan, Gary Fraser, Christy Elliott. Ryan Stevenson is the shadow striker, and Chris Doolan is up front, and it's a very strong Aberdeen team. Up front for them is Niall McGinn, who I think is top goal scorer in the league at the moment. Barry Robson in that attacking midfield role, which he is a really good creative player. Johnny Haynes and Peter Pollitt are decent wingers, but that central defensive partnership of central midfield partnership of Ryan Jack and Kenny McLean is probably the strongest in the Scottish Premiership outside of Celtic. Clark Robertson, Reynolds, Taylor and Logan make up the back four, with Clangers in goal. And on the bench, anyone noteworthy? Zach Clough scored against us last time, and David Goodwillie is there as well. So let's carry on to the match. Go for that. I think we should look for revenge. And I have faith in you. Come on, you can do it. Come on, Abs. Right, we'll go for that. Doolan. Lawless. Stevenson! It's a goal! 3 minutes in, and Partick Thistle take the lead with Ryan Stevenson getting the goal. And of course, Chris Doolan doing so well to hold up the ball, create a chance for his teammate, and fortunately the ball comes to Ryan Stevenson, who gets the goal. One shot, one goal, and it was a half chance. So it's looking good for us so far. If we can keep this up, then we would look to cement that 4th place finish and aim for a top 6. Stuart Bannigan, good tackle. Doolan, can he hold up the ball? Does. Lawless takes on his man. Doolan gets across in. Stevenson! It's 2-0! Ryan Stevenson with his 7th goal of the season, And Doolan, yet again, creating, really, holds up the ball, nice cross, and Stevenson gets the goal. It is worrying that Abdul Osman is on a yellow card already. Doolan with the free kick. Oh, he hits crossbar! And Stevenson is there to complete his hat-trick. 40 minutes in, it's Partick Thistle 3, Aberdeen 0. Look at this. Hits the crossbar. Finally, it happens to the other team. This always happens to me, where they get a free kick, they hit the bar, and the keeper's stranded, and somebody just hits it in, and it's never the defender that gets there first. Franz, Lawless in the midfield. Stevenson, who's having a brilliant match. Doolan on his own. I think that was maybe going wide, so Franz with the corner. And Elliott picks it up. And that really comes to nothing. Is it going to be our throw, though? No, it won't matter. It's half-time. It's 3-0. Stevenson having the game of his life. Very happy, lads. Keep it up. And Doolan, he's doing well to get the 8.4 rating. I mean, I think he should be credited with all 3 assists, really. Oh, no, wait, it was Lawless for the second one. I remember now. And Aberdeen kick off in the second half. And it's the hour mark. Let's maybe make a change. Who's looking tired? I don't really want to make a change. All of them are playing very well, but let's go for Gary Fraser for Sean Welsh. And Dan Seaborn's looking a bit tired, so maybe Tam Scobie should come on as well. But other than that, I kind of want to... I don't want to change it too much. So, Aberdeen with 2 shots, not getting a look into this game, and they were both long shots. We're dominating possession at 54%. So, I don't think I could have asked for a better game. 80 minutes. And we'll bring on James Craigan for Stuart Bannigan as the final sub. It would be nice to keep a clean sheet. Almost practically locking out Aberdeen. Franz with the throw-in. Lawless. Doolan. Craigan. From that tight angle, I would maybe have hoped for him to cut it back to someone. Doolan with the free kick. Craigan. It's a nice deceptive free kick, right enough. Elliott picks the ball up. Whips it in. Oh. I do think Doolan deserves a goal today. Welsh, Craigan. And that's full time. It's Partick Thistle 3, Aberdeen 0 at Firhill Stadium. And that was really special because we weren't favoured at all. Stevenson scoring a hat-trick. 8 shots on target, 58 possession. Where is the match stats? And we just see we've dominated almost. Well, more or less, I would say this was dominating. 12 shots to their 2, 8 on target. They didn't get any. They had 1 off target, we had 3. We hit the woodwork, clear-cut chances 2, half chances 2, long shots 3 to their only 2 long shots. More possession, more corners. They had 5 corners. How did that happen? Quite a few fouls. Offside 6. Passing completion is pretty good at 81%. Tackles 1, 82%. Pretty good as well. And we are doing brilliantly in aerial challenges. That's really where we're winning this game, actually, I think. They had 4 yellow cards and they ran more, but that's probably because of our passing. And yes, it's a very good performance. And how many people seen it? 4,800 for, I believe it's a Friday night. No, it's a Sunday match. Sunday night. Or Sunday afternoon at 2 o'clock. It was on the TV as well, so that's what would have maybe harmed the attendance a little bit. But overall, that's a very pleasing result, and that leaves us in 4th and in the driving seat to maybe try and push Aberdeen for that 3rd place. Zach Clough is actually top goal scorer of the league with Chris Doolan and Ryan Stevenson. That hat-trick yanked him into the top 4 there. average ratings, Chris Doolan and Stevenson makes it in there. Top assists, Doolan doing brilliantly. Let's look at the team stats. And goals from direct free kicks, we're up there. But that's about it. I do like to look at average attendance. Seventh. And average capacity will be quite low because Firhill's quite big actually. We've not had any sellouts. Nobody's had any sellouts. Oh well. Right, and who do we play next? Well, we've got Celtic in the Cup and it is on TV, but I probably won't livecom that just because that I don't want to be playing Celtic too often. I will livecom the next Celtic game at home. I think we have a decent chance there, and if we get something in the Cup, I'll maybe show highlights or I'll maybe fire it in for a double livecom, but it's unlikely. But no, the next match will come up. The next episode will be the Celtic game and at Firhill, so it should be interesting. The New Year's Day game on the 1st of January. So thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please hit the like button, and I will see you for the next episode. Cheers!